right, everybody, it's an honor and a privilege. John on here with you in the red rink at Lakeland Ice Arena. Back for my third season with the team. We're going to get into the home opener. Let's get into the lineups really quickly. So for the Detroit Warhawks, they're 0-2 so far on the season. It's going to be Darren Buchanan, number 2. Austin Heckner is going to wear 10. Mason Hackle, 81. Chase Burgess, 66. Brandon Thielen, 18. Jeremy Shorts, 19. Chris Barzik, 21. Zachary Kerr, 45. Paul Lochner, number 4. On defense, you got Isaiah Hyatt, 9. Justin Green, 16. Giuseppe Carcillo, 23. Tommy Morgan, 27. Jacob Baxter, 33. Zach Dover, 15. Michael Schwanke, the former Waterford Sharks netminder, is going to wear number 30. Nate Austin, 39. So we'll see who starts today on that end. And for the Sharks, this lineup's going to look a little bit different. They are also 0-1 on the season. Again, the initial opener with the Shadow got delayed to December. It's number 2, Cole Helgamo, number 9, Isaac Gibbs, number 10, Zach Molkowski, 13, Noam Boldrika. We'll get into the rest of the lineups after the anthem.
For the home opener of the 25-26 MIHL regular season. Tonight's contest is against Detroit Warhawks. For the starting lineups for the Warhawks, number 9, Isaiah Hyatt, number 10, Austin Hickner, number 18, Brendan Thielen, number 27, Tommy Morgan, number 81, Mason Hackle, and in net, number 30, Michael Schwanke. And now for the Waterford Sharks, number 17, Jarrett Pfeiffer, number 18, Chris Martin, number 24, Chris Donaldson, number 63, Alex Gregrich, number 71, Spencer Bowman, and in net, number 31, Jake Willow. May you all please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
So proudly we had the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets
So for the rest of your forwards, number 15, Josh Hill, 16, Kieran Carlisle, number 17, Jared Pfeiffer, number 19, Alex Sharp, number 61, Andrew Polulsha, number 63, Alex Gregrich, number 71, the captain, C. Spencer Bowman, number 91, Justin McComas. On defense, number 18, Christopher Martin, number 20, Jake Prober, the Ohio, Michigan native, number 24, Chris Donaldson, number 25, Christopher Calabrese, number 77, look for Micah, number 96, Brandon Pfeiffer. The starter today will be number 31, Jacob Gilliam, and Ian Morton, number 34, will back him up. So there are some subtractions to tell you about in this Sharks lineup. Now, I don't know how much it'll factor into today, but number 5, Nick Papandrea, number 25, Joseph Gibbs, no longer members of the Sharks on that blue line side. Again, Michael Schwanke, he's getting the start for the Warhawks. And you talk about the preview and the MIHL opener that I posted about 3 weeks ago. In the mix of some of these changes, we will highlight some of them as we go forward. Sharks now will take this one from right to left. A good stick play to knock it to the neutral zone for Spencer Bowman. Again, the Sharks are showcasing the boomer patch on the left side for the Shark Club, and they have the banner affixed now in the red rink. That's where we're going to play our games this year, so you get a chance to see it all the way through. That was from a couple seasons ago. Rebound opportunity, Spencer Bowman. That was saved by Schranke with the right pad. as this will get sent back down and be iced against the Warhawks. Now, we said the Warhawks 0-2 this season. They're coming off of tough losses. This is at MIHL South. There's divisions now this year. We'll have more to talk about in the intermissions. But it was a 15-3 loss to the Michigan Shadow. Again, that is where the other part of our Goal Live crew is, in between the Muskegon Voyagers, and then a loss to the Voyagers themselves, 11-3. So 3 divisional games right out of the gate and 2 straight icings against the Warhawks. So the Sharks will be their 3rd straight divisional matchup. Sharks are coming off of a 5-2 loss themselves. The Muskegon Voyagers at Lakeshore Sports Center last week. Now, when we get into the intermissions, I'll kind of give you the prognostications of where I think everything is going to be as far as the division. Again, we're only in week 3. Sharks have played 1 game, the Warhawks played 2, but it's never too early to think about that. Here's a lift toward the right side, and we might get a save or a cover-up. We'll see if we get any signals. Don't think so at 18:59 of the first. It's got to be very interesting to see Schwenke on the other side for the Detroit Warhawks instead of the Sharks, where he won a championship. He also won a championship at Central Michigan. Very good goaltender. But he gets a chance to get a full opportunity here with the Warhawks, and I think he's got to like that, get plenty of ice time. This will be passed across by Isaiah Hyatt. He'll be back in the zone now as the Warhawks will take this one cross ice. Nice bank feed, as this is an opportunity off of a toe drag. Be knocking toward the right side of the glass. Again, my sight lines are pretty good here, but we will lose it in toward the corners. This will be an opportunity now for Kieran Carlisle off the drop pass wrister. That one just a little bit high and outside from Chris Donaldson. So we're not expecting in game number 2 for the Sharks for Donaldson and Calabrese 24-25 on the back end to replace Papandrea and Joseph Gibbs. But you want to see some of that offensive push from their defensemen. That's what the Sharks are at their best. Here is a face-off win. Here's a rebound that goes toward the right side of the boards. A long flip now as the Warhawks will try to pick this one up between a couple of skate blades. Jake Fry lost it for a moment. Be sent back around now for Jeremy Shorts, who's wearing the number 19. Again, there's some changes here. No Dimitri Atry, no Owen Drake, as those numbers have been substituted for this week's game. Isaiah Crawford is one of their main forward sides that they picked up from last year. This is a good steal opportunity for Nolan Baldrika, one of the new Sharks. Popped up into the air into the bench. 17-46. Baldrika was one of the only goal scorers for the Sharks in that 5-2 loss to the Voyagers last week. Zach Milkowski able to win this one straight back, and the Sharks will start with the vulcanized rubber in their own end. Nothing, little feel-out process, about 17:30 left to go in this home opener of the first. Here's a race for the puck now. Milkowski try to beat up the hybrid ice, a little reverse, and we'll see if everyone pops up down there and is okay. Trying to get a number on that down Warhawk. That is number 81, Mason Hackle. But he looks to be no worse for wear, so that's not a sight for sore eyes. Zach's going to take another draw here. We'll see how much energy he's got if we're using the burners. This will be kept in the offensive zone, sticked away by Gilliam. Again, it's my first look alongside all of you for Gilliam and Morton in the back end of the crease. You talked about that for Elijah Gibbons, who's now a member of the Kalkaska Kings, who look really good in the MIHL North. They start 2-0 on the season. They've been pretty much spanking everybody. Will be yet another icing as a courtesy second goes off the clock. So in those inter-squad matchups in the division, you have MIHL North and South for the first time this year. And you got 3 of the 4 teams from last year in the South. The only new addition is the Michigan Shadow. That could be one of the strongest divisions of everything. It's picked up by Jake Prober off the cross pass. He gets knocked off the puck of a late hit from Brendan Thielen, but Jake will pop back up. He gets a stick play in a moment, which negates the breakaway. Excellent play there by the Highland Michigan native as he'll just pinball this back off the corner. Justin McComas looking for the breakout as it's Zach, and will throw it right on. And Schwanke will bust this in the corner to the left side dot. About 5 shots to nothing pretty much. As here's a chance now for Gibbs. Another one fought off by the pads of Schwanke. And you got to imagine he's going to be motivated as this hit was finished by Jake Prober. He's getting a little payback. Good keep in the zone now for McComas. Another wrister as that was set up there from McComas to Gibbs. And Schwanke's looked pretty good early. He's been about 6 saves. It's 16-10 in the first. Flipping to the netting and up and out of play. We'll do it again. I can't be privy to tell you everything in from the offseason. I'm just giving you the public information. Where it looks in terms of the Sharks roster, most of this is going to be together, but we will be seeing some fluctuating names. You got Dan Westbrook and company as the refs for today's game. Again, that's all been kind of set up and officiated from Commissioner Scott Brand, so nobody's going to get any hometown discounts for the referees. Everybody's going to try to stay upright and keep everything fair and safe. As McComas try to get some positioning in his zone end. Good work off the backhand. He can take it in if he wants to, as he's getting around the bowling pits here. Works his way to the blue line side, and I'll send it back into the corner. Being recollected now for Jarrett Pfeiffer, as that was lost in toward the right side dot in between some skates, as it's an opportunity now for Brendan Pfeiffer. Finish off a hit, picked up nicely by the Sharks. Jarrett try to send this one out in front. They go for the cross pass instead, and Bowman with a short side save, and Schwank has got another one. In between Schwanke, Austin, and the assistant GM for Jimmy Bolton and Miles Finney, who normally has played a lot of goal over the last couple of years that I've seen him. One of the main strengths for the Warhawks is their goaltending tandem. Sharks look like they're going to get an early power play here. Andrew Polsha will win this one straight back to Donaldson. We'll probe that blue line. Alex Sharp, one of the newcomers from OU, as this one is dangerous through the goal mouth there. Sharks will pick this one back up now for Boldrika. That top line unit's going to look a little bit different. Donaldson, there's just a slow shovel toward the goal mouth. Sharks will get this back though. Sharp turnaround, harmlessly thrown in the corner. Boldrika off the turn and spin. Kept on the blue line now for Donaldson. Try to feed it out in front. Sharks have the loose vulcanized rubber again. Polosha was not healthy in that finals against Muskegon, but none of those bodies were as they lost in 5 games. This one tipped out of the air, and it's in now. Second opportunity, and the Sharks never gave up on that power play. They had the puck possession for the 47 seconds straight, and they're first on the board here. Not a bad start there for the Sharks to begin the year. They had not lost to the Warhawks at all last year, but I will say, I do think that this is a team that can at least put the puck in behind the net. They scored 6 goals in their 2 games combined that they played so far.
First Sharks goal was scored by number 13, Owen Baldrika, assisted by number 18, Chris Martin, and number 61, Andrew Kaluja. Time of the goal, 14:31 of the first period.
So Baldrika from Martin and Polsha, as Polsha's got his first point of the year, hopefully one of many. Again, he was one of the main goal scorers, but if you can get him on the score sheet, getting some apples as well, filling out his teammates, and then get started throughout the year. Again, we added a couple extra regular season games with the 8 teams now, as this is intercepted here for Cole Helgamo. Wasn't sure he'd still be playing if he'd be coaching at OU. We will get an offsides at 13:50, but it's good to see number 2, the Junkyard Dog, as John Stonehouse affectionately always called him. Hopefully Natalie and company doesn't get tired of me always saying that, but that is one of my favorite nicknames for Mr. Stonehouse bestowing to Helgamo. Hopefully you get a chance to see him in the building this year. Neutral zone face-off as this will be brought back from Kieran Carlisle. Loads some of the bowling pins. Does Josh Hill. He'll skate back into his own end, get around a stick lift now. Hill looks like he might be off to the races. Right up the gut, here's a turnaround shot, catches the netting. Try to take that one end to end. If I can find any scoring updates to the intermission of the MIHL games, I'll definitely do that. I am very curious of what's going on between the Voyagers and the Shadow. That one's being played at Big Boy. That's where the other half of our crew is. Nice rifle pass as this is kept in by McComas. Trying to look out in front for Christopher Calabrese, and it's a 1-on-0 break. And this one is going to get sniped through 5-hole on a bad giveaway there from the Sharks. And we're tied at 1. So the Warhawks, what I like about that one is they could have waited for a 2-on-0, but you got the opportunity, feel confident, got about a couple strides and a half out of the defense. You got to take what you got. That was a good read. So this game is all even.
Assisted by number 10, Austin Hickner, and number 18, Brendan Thielen. Time of the goal, 13.
So Thielen, Hickner, and Tommy Morgan, the captaincy, what he usually wears in 27. I'll see if I can monitor that across. And they still got those patches, but this is a game that's tied at 1. It's been pretty good so far. Opportunity picked up toward the left side blue line. On the backhand, they're shoving on the corner. Spinning through now for Alex Sharp. Trying to get puck possession. It's loose. Gillen makes one save. Brushes it away with the glove, and the Sharks look like they were about to be submerged, but they'll break out here. So Chris Donaldson, big hit against the boards there for Sharp as he pops back up. Looks like he's on the edge of his shift, and Teller Gross squad is going to go ahead and take a change. Again, that coaching staff a little bit different as well. You got the assistant coach in Michael Redmond and player coach in George Holt, although he is not playing today as this one is shipped in. Rolling vulcanized rubber toward the right side dot, and this played off the backhand right to the Sharks, but then picked off right in center ice. He's going to matriculate across the backhand, fire it right on with the glove hand. It was a little bit loose and then caught, I think, in toward the seat of the pants of one of the Warhawks and Jacob Fry.
Now to the Sharks Club on Highland Road after tonight's contest for Eats, Drinks, and More with your Waterford Sharks. Proud sponsor of this season's MIHL regular season.
Warhawks going to try to get puck possession in an O-zone draw. This will be sent in toward the right side boards. Helgamo try to get a piece of it, and there's a puck battle toward the right dot. Turnaround chance for Kieran Carlisle to get this out of his zone. Good cross-ice feed. Sharks able to escape the defense. Been pretty good here for the Warhawks. You got to be happy there with Jake Tomalak and their new coaching staff that they added this year. It looks like they got some definite pressure that they're putting on the Sharks early. Jake Prober's the last man back, and he's going to get the puck now. Let this one go is Kieran Carlisle. And the Warhawks now trying to figure things out on their own end. Good heavy hit as Helgamo will step up. And this will be sent back around for Calabrese, one of the new players in the back end for the Sharks. Opportunity now for puck into the netting. As Mason Hackle was the last one going in before he went off sides. Austin Hickner on the right hand side before this draw. Tommy Morgan going to get set to take it. Again, he's normally back on defense as well. Zach Mulkowski now gets the intercept. Mulkowski on his backhand trying to find a cutting Isaac Gibbs toward the right side of the wing. McComas on the prowl as he's all the way in deep. Played enough the slap shot cure him as that one gets brushed aside. Calabrese let it go. Stick in the lane to the right side boards. McComas finishes off his hit. It's a 3-on-2 developing, but nice play for Calabrese to send it in deep. Loose for McComas. Oh, he tried to play it in between his legs. I wouldn't say hot dog there. That was a good opportunity, as this will be intercepted now for Brennan Pfeiffer. And off the spin and turn, Pfeiffer now. Good cross-ice entry. Molkowski walks in. He goes for a short side snipe, rushed right from the stick of Schwenke. Loose out in front, Molkowski! Yes, sir! Nice play there for the Sharks at 10-13, right off the one-timer in front of the crease. And it's 2-1. So Zach's going to get his first of the year. On a 1T toward the left side of the blue paint.
Waterford Sharks goal scored by number 10, Zach Makowski, assisted by number 91, Justin McComas, and number 9, Isaac Gibbs. Time of the goal, 10-13.
So McComas gets a primary assist and Gibbs gets his first apple of the year. Again, this is just game number 2. Sharks will be on the road again next week against the Michigan Shadow. I will not be making that game, but I will be telling you, as far as being responsible for the home games, I got all those in front, but my final broadcast of the regular season is that one saved by Polsha for the Sharks will be Sunday, March 22nd. That'll be another birthday stream for me. That one I plan on making. So as long as Frank doesn't have to do the broadcast duties, or he doesn't mind relinquishing those, we will cover the Sharks game on the road to end the year as long as Go Live is broadcasting that one. This in from the point. Be blocked there for Schwenke. Sent back around though. We got a long way to get to that though, but I just wanted to make mention of that while we're in a home broadcast. Alex Sharp on the backhand now will crisscross. Sharks will have to intentionally pick this self-bank pass in off the boards, and that was kind of a dangerous look there for Sharp, but he plays this off the embankment now. Finds the entry, gets around the stick lift. Polsha now with a third effort tries to corral it toward the left side of the boards. Be an opportunity to recollect now for the Warhawks. Find an entry now quickly as this is sent back around the end boards. Now Gilliam is in that butterfly, and this will go just too far for Mason Hackle. Play this one on the backhand. It just gave it right to the Sharks as Jake Tomalak's squad's going to take a change here. Jared Pfeiffer is the one on the prowl now as it's loosened toward the right side boards. Opportunity to get recollected here for the Warhawks. And off the drop, we get a whistle. That was late, offsides. Would have been dangerous there for Hackle, but nothing doing. He is coming off of a couple of goals. Is Paul Lochner, that is number 4 from yesterday's game, and Austin Hickner, last week's game, Austin Hickner, hat trick in the previous as well. So out of the 6 goals between Hickner and Lochner, they have 5 of the 6. So that's what you want to watch for in number 4 at least, and number 10 for the Warhawks. Good diving play, but this will be an opportunity now for the Sharks and Jared Pfeiffer as this goes in toward the right side of the bull plate. Schwenke is able to get a stick on it, but the job's not done. This is loose and behind his cage. Pfeiffer gets pinned against the boards. And now Jake Prober, one of the last men back, will be sent back in now. Be an opportunity to look here alongside for Spencer Bowman, the captaincy. He's played every game with the Sharks, even when they were the beginning part of the wheel, getting everything acclimated. Pass goes D to D. Shot goes harmlessly wide toward the right side of the glass. And picked up now by the defense. Hickner with that jersey tuck takes a big hit. And we will see if there's going to be any call. We got a hand in the air. Another roughing, and might as well finish it again, says one of the Sharks. Clapper from the point. That one goes wide. Picked up now for a little bit of a hip check, and we're going to get some boarding or roughing, whatever the call is going to be at 7:29. Sharks will take their first pen of the game. some rough stuff near the left side dot. Again, it's felt like a puck magnet on both ends between the right and left. Darren Buchanan is one of the wings, number dose that's out there right now. So Calabrese is going to take the rough, and where they hope is the full 2 minutes for the Sharks to be able to kill this penalty. It's a 2-1 lead for them. It's been a pretty tight game so far. Trinity sent back in behind the end boards. We'll see what the Warhawks can do on their power play. Schwenke now will stop it behind his own end. 6:55 officially left to go in period number 1 of this home opener. Sharks are up 2-1. This puck is going to bounce off of all the forwards that were back. A good defense now for Gross squad as we get a whistle. So Brandon Thielen, number 18, out there with the part of the penalty kill. And alongside Giuseppe Carcillo and Tommy Morgan. Zebras are just deciding where they want this puck drop. We're going to find our way right to center ice. Grego's going to take this draw. Again, good to see him. He's going to be spending more time with M1 United. Berkeley, Clausen, Royal Oak, and Ferndale. As this will be flipped back in behind the end boards now for Donaldson. Again, Calabrese in the box for what he hopes is another minute. Grego a little bit too long in the pursuit, but he did get some support behind him. And I want to see if I get another hand in the air. Don't see one for a potential trip. Hickner tried to throw the puck across, and that one will bounce off a couple of skates. Flip back down the ice again. A beautiful penalty kill right now for the Sharks as they will take their full cell change here. And unit numero dos comes out. Good stick chop. And alongside for Pfeiffer as this is sent in deep now for Kieran Carlisle. Brush in the corner now, but Carlisle not giving up on the play. Warhawks just looking for something to do on their own power play. Still trying to get settled. There's a clapper toward the right wing. Easy glove stop. There was a loose rebound. They went to play it. I don't think Gilliam got that one clean, but none the matter. Pushed it about 150 feet the other way. Carlisle now. Try to pry it loose into the corner. Sharks will push back as they look for the long flip. That one's canceled out. Here is Polsha off the cross pass. And that was a good setup there alongside for Brendan Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer now will find it toward the right side boards. A little half spin. Pfeiffer picks it up. He was falling down toward the left side of the glass. Got a lot of fans standing here as I'm trying to track this puck. Polsha now behind his own end as Calabrese out of the box. Sharks return to full strength. Here's a ripper through the screen. Good left pad save. I don't know if Schenker even saw that one. Another opportunity. That one hits the pads and reverberates across the red rink. We get a stoppage at 4:54. That was the Sharks' best puck possession since their power play goal. Feels good to broadcast the game this week. I haven't got a chance to do a lot of that since a little bit of the changes here in my personal life, but that's not going to affect anything for the Sharks and future broadcasts. I do have a treat for you, maybe even next year when we get to it. I'm still planning on being in the hot box here. Milkowski now. He'll try to tap it to himself, a little hand-eye. This will work here for Jake Prober. Try to throw it in the corner for Micah now. Turn around again. He's got that big, stout body that you see in behind the cage. Kind of like that Zdeno Chara light as far as some of that. As this will be intercepted now, fluttering dangerously across for Prober. And toward the right side red line. Sharks do escape though. Zach Milkowski now try to lead in off the rush. And toward the right side, Dotton uses forehand, nice body shield. This will take this one from D to D. This chance gets blocked out in front of Schwenke before it ever hit the goal. Bouncing puck. This will be gloved down nicely inside that full cage mask. And Turnaround for Isaac Gibbs, but he can't find it. And the Warhawks just try to fight their way into the offensive zone and take their change. 2-1 is your score. About 3:40 left to go in the first. John Ott is my name as this one goes all the way back. Schwenke tried to pass it out. Now he said, you know what, my first one got deflected. I'll hold on to it. 3:34, period number 1. Ozone draw for Grego, almost halfway between his legs. Long flip. This might work out the other way for the Warhawks so they can find something behind them. We'll shovel it into an open corner. Some rough stuff in behind the net now for the Warhawks. Sharks cross ice feed. Try to work so nicely for the captaincy and Spencer Bowman off the leave. That's a pretty good skate through. Oh my goodness, that's disgusting. What a goal. That was some highlight reel stuff, and Spencer Bowman is going to get one of the prettiest apples of the year at 3:06. That'll test the voice register. Little how do you do? Then that was Jarrett Pfeiffer. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I think that was a drop in from 71 to the inverse to 17. That was a heck of a lift. That's the prettiest goal we've seen today, that's for sure.
Waterford Sharks goal scored by number 17, Jarrett Pfeiffer. Assisted by number 24, Chris Donaldson. And number 63, Alex Gregorich. Time of the goal, 3:06.
So it's going to be Donaldson and Grego on that assist, and that was absolutely filthy. Again, when you think about over the 3 years of broadcasting for me, that would be an all-timer. You probably put that one in the top 5. Now, Theo Goody clinching a championship, although he's not in the lineup today for number 6, the assistant captain on defense, has got to be one of the numero unos, right? Because that's how the Sharks won the title a couple of seasons ago against the Muskegon Voyagers in a sweep. But that was an all-timer, folks. You're going to want to scrub the rewind button when this gets uploaded.
Waterford Sharks penalty to number 63, Alex Gregorich. 2 minutes for interference. Time of the penalty, 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
So Grego just got his secondary A, but he's going to go to the box for interference. Again, Zach still back there doing the score-up announcement. It's not Cranbrook baseball throughout the year, so it's good to get a chance to talk to Zach and exchange those rosters and all that too. Get a chance hopefully to say hi to everybody throughout the year. Karen Carlisle can't win the draw. And off the spin and turn, here's the Warhawks off the give and go. Fake the slapper, played it on the backhand. Gilliam fights it off with the left pad. This might be a must score here for the Warhawks because they've played a pretty good period. You want to try to find something better there. A good glove save from a severe angle. Jacob Baxter. He was one of the trades from St. Ignace back to the Warhawks this year. So again, I mentioned next week will be a road game at Big Boy, but then 5 of the next 6 will be at the Red Rink. At Lakeland Ice Arena, we will see St. Ignace, and I believe the Kalkaska Kings as well. I'll be excited to look at them for the first time and see how the Sharks fare against them. Slap pass. That was another one for Baxter, as that one was brushed aside by Gilliam. Hasn't had a ton to do, but this has been the good puck possession on the power play side for the Warhawks. Look very organized. Baxter again, that one kisses the glass and not kept in. We'll have the turnaround opportunity again and start one more time. $1:50 left to go in this opening period. The Sharks up 3-1. Baxter now will lead in off the rush as Darren Buchanan now tries to go ahead and get the puck retrieval. Buchanan now. Here's a turn and leave. Hickner. Cross ice feed as Baxter will get organized to the left side. Dot cross ice again. Buchanan plays this one off the carom. Got it toward the right side. Dot little bit of overload strategy here for Tomalak's squad. One more here for Hickner. And off the cross ice, keeping the Sharks spaced, trying to cover the middle of that slot. Chance goes just wide as we get a whistle with 1:07. If the Sharks do kill this early and take a 3-1 lead in the dressing room, I think you have to feel pretty good. And honestly, I'll say this too, for the Warhawks, not a bad first 20 minutes for them. I think both teams like their game. You just want to, if you get another opportunity here, it looks like the Sharks might be giving up a couple of penalties today. Take advantage of your next one if you don't get it now. So we got Kieran Carlisle, Jake Prober back on the side of the kill. Zach Kerr tried to win this face-off back, but this goes to the Sharks. It's a 2-on-2 developing for Micah trying to lead the rush. Not a good chance to say that too often. Kieran Carlisle will stick it away. Grego is back out of the sin bin after the interference call. And off the tie-up for Micah, couldn't get it away from him, and now Kieran Carlisle. A little bit too jumpy there was Waterford. Get a neutral zone draw here. Hill lost his balance for the moment as he couldn't find a way in toward the right side blue line. Opportunity off the spin and turn for Christopher Martin. Isaac Gibbs' pass gets bounced between a couple Warhawks. No problem there. And alongside for Martin and off the drop for Gibbs, and that one sailed wide of the right post. We've got the final 10 seconds of the first. It looks like everything else is going to be unblemished. We will end that way. 3-1, Waterford's got the lead after your first period. That last one at 3 minutes. And the mix for Jared Pfeiffer was absolutely filthy. When you get that replay, check it out later when I get the story uploaded. We'll see you in a little bit. Come back for the second period. So no updates to give you as far as the out-of-town scoreboard yet, but I will go a little NHL toward the second intermission because everything in between Muskegon and the Shadow are just about to get underway right now as we are in the middle of our second period. About another 25 seconds. But let's give you the updates as far as what I had settled in from the Facebook post. Again, we are broadcasting from Go Live Sportscast, but again, you can always follow me at John Reinott for updates. Everything across with the Sharks, and then I give you the game story and everything else, usually for the Sunday and Monday side. So after the first, the Sharks had a 3-1 lead. It was honestly a good period for both teams. Tallies from Nolan Baldrika, Zach Molkowski, Jared Pfeiffer at the 3-minute mark, as we said, with that lift and toward the right side of the blue paint was an old-timer. Again, this is my third full season now, starting with the Sharks, and I already have that one in the top 5. So I'm not going to lie to you there. Tommy Morgan scored on the break for Detroit. That was their only goal. Michael Schwenke showing his best for the Warhawks in net. Again, he was a champion at Central Michigan University a couple of seasons ago with the Waterford Sharks, so that's no surprise there. Again, he's always a champion Shark, and we know that to be the case. So that's your first period reset. Let me get a little more as this puck goes in the netting. In the second intermission, kind of break some of the NHL scoreboard down for you and see if I can find any out of town as far as the MIHL. Again, they are usually a little bit hit and miss as far as everything else for the scores until that gets posted on the league website a few days after. But as far as everything else, I usually get that done on the Monday end. Got to spend some time with the misses tomorrow. As this is a fall down toward the right side boards, it's going to be an opportunity for the Warhawks off the rush. They got the late trailer running across the middle, and that was nicely defended by Waterford, although the job's not done as it's pushed in the corner. Just 30 seconds have expired in this middle stanza. The Sharks have a 3-1 lead. Enough of a blind no look for Spencer Bowman on the tie-up now. This will be hand grenaded right into the hands of Donaldson. Donaldson now work his way on the backhand toward the left side of the red line. They're skating behind the net. On his forehand now trying to center it through the blue paint. See what the Sharks do here, looking for a cross-ice pass there for Schwenke. And now an opportunity to get intercepted as Tommy Morgan leads the troops off sides. He's got the lone goal for the Warhawks. Again, we mentioned for them, it's been a tough start to the year, not because of the way that they played. They got 6 goals in 2 games, so 3 goals in each game's not too bad, but they had to start with the Shadow and the Voyagers over their first couple of weeks, so they're going right through the gauntlet at the beginning of the year. I do think this team has gotten better over the seasons, and that's not me sugarcoating things. Now with 8 teams, I would definitely say that they can be in the mix. This will be flipped back around the inboards now. And off the full jersey tuck as Hickner coughs it up. Here's opportunity for Hill! And on the left, that was solved by Schwenk with the glove hand. That was a needed save from the Warhawks netminder. A huge hit. That's finished off beautifully. That was completely clean, a la Chris Pronger, a little bit behind the net. Kieran Carlisle now can't win the foot race, but this will be nicely sticked away. And another opportunity, Helgamo, ready for a one-on-one, but he's got to go find the Vulcanizer. But first, Helgamo now turnaround shot, and this is solved by Schwenke. I'd imagine you see a lot of that in practice. Step up, nicely off the skates for Pfeiffer. And now the Warhawks can't get away from Brendan. They'll have to try this again in their own end. Again, the white and black and yellow mix will be going right to left. Good touch pass. Kieran Carlisle tried to send this loose out in front. And this will be warped in behind the net now. Sharks will play some puck possession calmly. And against left side boards and right in the chest protector for Michael. He's had a strong game so far. He's kept his team in it. Glad you could join us here for the home opener on Go Live Sportscast. We're in the Red Rink at Lakeland Ice Arena. John, that's my name. I'm your play-by-play man once again. Riding solo today. A couple of stops, one off the rebound and a backhand. I'll be interested to see what that save total is. Now, if Zach, toward the second period, kind of throws those numbers in the shutout, I always throw those into my notes. I think he's getting closer toward the 30 mark. Hopefully more of an equipment problem for Isaiah Hyatt than anything else, but it looks like he took a puck in toward the left eye, and he needs some treatment, so hopefully he's okay. So they're going to be down a defenseman, are the Warhawks, for right now. Izzy Hurdley, they open those doors for Micah. Now in toward the right side dot, this will be centered to the blue pane, and that's where the Warhawks will be. Calmly clean up the mess. Right in through the neutral zone. And on the forehand, Sharks have had a lot of puck possession to start this second. Schrank able to make a save toward the left side post. He's on the stand-up in that same spot. Warhawks have it in their own end. Sharks not really pressing all that much, but oh my goodness, toward the right side, we might have potential fisticuffs in this game. Alex Sharp's hit, that was against the side of the boards that Tyler Groth, part of West, got hurt last year from a hit from the Alpena 45ers. When that starts to reverberate metal on metal, that's how you get people angry. You don't want too much of that. If you've joined me over the last couple of seasons, we know that we've seen some memorable scraps. Usually number 2, Cole Hogemo, leading that charge. But I would not be surprised if you see guys like, for Micah, Josh Hill, if he's got to get a little nasty. Probably not Kieran Carlisle and Pulosher, because you need them to get apples and score goals. But there really isn't anyone on the Sharks that are going to back down. I believe that's going to be Sharp going to the box. I would imagine number 19 for a little bit of interference or board. Maybe a little bit of a warning here as well. They're going to go offsetting on the board here. I'm surprised. That little push after, I don't know if I would have called that, to be honest with you. I imagine the Warhawks being upset for good reason on that end. Wilkowski will win this one straight back as Donaldson had some good shots in there from the point. No nonsense offensive defenseman, it looks like. And that's what you need to see when you're talking about losing guys like Papa G, Nick Papandrea, and Joseph Gibbs. Still a little offsetting here for the next minute 35. And see what the Warhawks can do. A little bit of a hold. And Alex Sharp roughing as we get another one toward the right side corner. We know that's going to awake the beast here after that last one. And we'll see who's a little bit slow to get up as we get another big hit into the right side boards. And again, the ref are going to let that one pass here in between Christopher Martin. And this is getting a little dangerous here as far as some of these hits. And I'm not trying to sugarcoat that much. There's a drive to the net. Milkowski got robbed toward the left side boards. Be picked up here for the Sharks as that one will hit the glass and go all the way back down for Gilliam. Hasn't had a chance to play the puck too much in this second period, as this gotten a little bit heavy here in this middle stanza. Looking for anything toward the side of the slot, and that was just stick lefted away from Buchanan. And the Sharks will get away here. And alongside for Christopher Martin, I feel like I've had to call his name a lot. He's definitely had a good game. 15-12 left to go in this middle frame. The heavy is the crown moniker from Lincoln Park is what the Sharks used last year in their chance for a title defense when they lost in 5 games of the finals in Muskegon. They've won the first at Lakeshore Sports Center. And when you had that feeling of 3 straight over the last couple of years, something special. But Matt Berger, he was the head coach late in the year last time. We kind of wonder what's going to happen. Oh, as that was nastily finished off, right out enough to draw. When you're talking about title defense, you get a goal like that. That's beautiful stuff. Right at the 15-10 marker, still got another 22 seconds of that offsetting. So Polusha is going to get a walk-in tap in essentially. And out of the, I would say 2 of the 4, Schrenke's got no chance on.
Waterford Sharks goal scorer number 61, Andrew Abuja. Assisted by number 16, Kieran Cola. Time of the goal, 15:10 remaining.
So 61 and 16 as we get another one. It's loose now. Oh, a chance for Gilliam as he was going out. And that was an opportunity that was canceled out by Hickner. And Warhawks don't like the late ice the other way. And now we will get some words. I know this is a little bit of a skeleton crew on the goal live side, but for those that are here, we are excited to watch what we're watching here. And that is no joke, because this is probably the most physical that this game has been, or these games have been, between these two teams. Over the last couple of years that I've seen, I'd put this number 1. And I think that's also got to be a testament for Jake Tomalek, Kyle, and Eric Holgate, the coaches. You like what you see. You want to always push, give your team some energy, a little spark plug, and show that they're never out of it. I think Schrenke's been good in goal as well. See what the Sharks will do from left to right in their own end. Good back pass. Picked up now for Brendan Pfeiffer. Leading off the rush, he fanned on it. Schrenke's going to allow himself to close the 5-hole, pick it up with the glove. I don't think I have to say this too much, but if anything gets close in front of Schrenke, in front of the net, the Warhawks will have no propensities to cleaning everything up. They'll make no mistake about that. Kieran Carlisle got an apple on that last goal, but he couldn't get the assist. But when 61 and 16 are going, that's when the Sharks are humming and playing at an MVP level. Good reverse hit for Micah now, as the Warhawks able to stay to their feet and toward the left side dot. Loose out in front, but just couldn't corral from skate to stick. Rolling play, Gilliam down. He will get the whistle right at 14 minutes. Like that pressure there. And the Sharks are obviously getting some of those taps in toward the glass. They like what they see from their netminder. I'm liking what I'm seeing from both teams. So Dante Sefferdini, also number 12, if I didn't throw that on my score sheet already. Austin Hickner going to go ahead and take this draw. This one's one off the forehand. That is what Grego likes to do. This will be flipped back down. So Paul Hickner. So for Micah, going to get busted for a trip. And this, I believe, will be the 3rd power play, not counting that 4-on-4. As we get another one, Bowman, a little slow up there to make sure he didn't clean out his man completely, which is what you want there. Just show your presence. Buchanan off the drop, a little swing and a miss as the Warhawks start this one toward the right side blue line. Hickner try to work his way. Left side down here, wrister saved by Gilliam and a chance at the net, and this one's closed off again. And some of the fans here think a little bit too quick of a whistle, but Gilliam's been doing his job here with the $1:15 left to go and the Sharks kill. Josh Hill, part of that penalty killing crew. We're going to take this face off toward the left side, it looks like. And on the draw back for the Warhawks, we'll have to go back in their own zone to pick it back up. We got Hickner out there as this one will be flipped back down by Josh Hill. We got Buchanan on the right wing side. Find the entry now, little stick handle in alongside for the Warhawks. Pass goes D to D. Buchanan lets it go through the screen. That one deflected and sent back down. So most of the time for the Sharks, at least in this penalty kill, again, this would be 3 full-on for the Warhawks, not counting that 4-on-4 as we talked about, where they've been very stout, getting the puck out of the zone quickly. Picked up now in off the backhand here for Tommy Morgan, and this is nothing doing. It's going to be awfully quiet on this latest power play. Schwenke now going to like to go for the long bomb. Hickner now is making sure everybody's on side. He's toward the right side of the blue paint. There's a chip in off the glass. The Sharks send this all the way down, right to a break. Opportunity for Gibbs, and that one was saved by Schwenke. Right in out of the box, and off a change. Looks more like a video game than anything else when you see those type of opportunities. Got the Justin McComas line out there now, with Giuseppe Carcillo next to him. The Zebras and the players are talking about something, but to be quite honest with you, not really sure what that is. I don't know if I missed a penalty call here. Made Isaac Gibbs with a breakaway chance. And Pfeiffer also giving a little bit of a stick tap alongside for Gilliam. Looks like we're just going to get an O-zone draw here for the Warhawks. And a penalty, but I'm not sure what that penalty was on. Zach's going to have to tell us that. Grego going to take this D-zone draw. And alongside Zachary Kerr. Grego uses on the forehand too strong. As it's in! Here's a brush in before all the traffic came. And that's a power play goal, 5 seconds here for the Warhawks. You can erase that away. It's 11:47 goal. Immediate traffic off the rebound. And that did not take long. Again, that was their 4th power play opportunity. Essentially, now they're 1 for 4. So for Micah got busted off the too many men. He was the one sent to get it, and the Warhawks scored in 5 seconds. So Tommy Morgan looks like that's unassisted on the power play. That is numero dos for him. And now the Sharks will see what they can do with Justin McComas. Got Zach Mulkowski, that's a right pad save, trying to look 5-hole. Sharks have just conceded a goal. That's ripped by Formica, and then a chance was loose toward the right side of the crease. He bounces back and makes the save, does Schwanke. That's heads up alertness and behind the crease. He's off the drawback. Donaldson will send this one around. Now Mulkowski. Sharks have puck possession in toward the right side boards, as this will be sent back now for Christopher Martin. We'll take this one D to D. You got Donaldson with him. And you got a lot of Christophers here. You got both of those on the back end blue line. This is a nice stick chop there. Gibbs just over his skates. Mulkowski with a little of a stick tap, but he can't get the puck away. He's sent back around now for Barrick. And the Sharks now will try to take this one from right to left. A little bit too far for Gibbs, but no matter. There is Zach Mulkowski on the back check as he's bounced in off some skates. A late arriving 2-on-2. Gibbs on the right side wing, look to his backhand. That one shot high. It's dangerous out in front of the slot. There's a turnaround chance. Gibbs fights it off. Does Schwenke have to brush that one in the corner? But he will do so as Gibbs will punch this one in deep. Now do a lap in behind the net. Excellent work there. Strong shift for Isaac. As this one sent wide and off the glass. Formica trying to body his man off the puck, but the Warhawks will emerge with it. Gibbs and off the spin and turn. We'll take this one D to D. Here for Isaiah Hyatt. Again, he was able to get the repairs with the puck hit him toward the right side of the eye. Backhand shovel. Scores! My goodness! 9:27 into the period. That's the second highlight reel. I wouldn't dare put that above the one at the 3-minute mark of the first. But the Sharks, they get a big answer after that too many men penalty, which they conceded. Couple highlight reels, one in the first, one in the second. The Sharks lead is back up to 3.
Waterford Sharks goal scored by number 63, Alex Gregorich. Assisted by number 24, Chris Donaldson. And number 77, Luke Formica. Time in the goal.
So Donaldson and Gregorich provide for a very pretty goal. We got some laundry on the ice that will need to be cleaned up once we get a stoppage. Here's a rolling puck. Nicely collected there for the Warhawks, but a good back check. This will be recollected here for Jared Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer now rides the right side of the wall, takes a hit to make a play. Here's a slapper that's just wide, back and behind an open mesh. Shrinking on the butterfly. He's got a lot of traffic in behind his net right now. Sharks pass this one out in front. Pfeiffer has a chance for a moment in Brendan. This will be punched out of the zone. Opportunity one more time for Christopher Martin. Here's Karen Carlisle. Racing in the zone now. Take a hit. And off the drop there, we're looking for Spencer Bowman. Gonna push the other way. Buchanan's gonna need some reinforcements. Shoveled into the blue paint again. It's the Warhawks trying to turn around, and they ran themselves out of space. Picked up now for Jared Pfeiffer. Little dipsy doodle. Leaves it here for Kieran. Back in behind the net. Sharks play with the puck. Here's a cross ice feed. This one is saved by Schwenke and sent back down the ice. 7:45 left to go in this eventful second. The entire game has been eventful so far. It's been pretty good. It's a 3-goal lead for the Sharks. Good reverse hit. Stays on his feet. Alongside Calabrese. Sharks now have possession with Josh Hill. Turn around the forehand. Wait for Calabrese. That one's fought off. And Schwenke makes the save. Two Chris's haven't been bad on defense here. We will get a whistle, maybe a penalty. 7:21. We'll see what the Zebras signify. Little limp at B-I-Z-K-I-T. A chocolate starfish. That reminds me of high school. As this will be a face-off opportunity toward the left dot for Waterford. Indeed, we did get a call right at the 7:20 marker of the second period. Sharks opportunity to go up by 4. Again, I can't get over Schwenke's played so well in this game. He's kept his team in it. A lot of those ones we would see before for Jack Hudak with the Muskegon Voyagers, or when Blue Water was still playing. And off the spin and turn, Sharks now will see what they will do. Try to run this as a full power play, get some chances in front of the net. That's what I'd like for Groth's squad. 6:55 as the hold is called. Be a right side dot draw. We drop now for Martin. Traffic on in front again. And the first one was saved by Schwenke and then punched in the corner. rolling vulcanized rubber be lifted outside. This could be a potential break. Gilliam does not leave his crease. Oh, what a stop there. That's a big one to keep it within 3. I thought he might try to beat the shooter out to the puck. He just closed it off. That's confident goalkeeping. Nolan Baldrica, the opening goal scorer of this game for the Sharks. He's the one that sent it in. Rolling puck. Now recollect one more time. Cross ice feed toward the left side of the glass. Started again for the Sharks in off the tip. That's where the puck will go again. It's a common theme now as Calabrese will see it off the back skate. Sharks absorb a hit. That one does Baldrica. Nice keep in there alongside for Calabrese. In toward the right side now. Here's a cross ice feed from Polosha, played in off the backboards. Sharks very methodical on this power play, which is good to see. You got the lead. You want to try to just run something here and feel good about it. Pfeiffer, Polosha off the drop pass. Calabrese got to go back to pick it up. Warhawks are going to return to full strength after the holding penalty, but it's loose. Calabrese, slap pass. This one is killed, and we had another one here. Right enough to break. That is sniped in. Right in out of the box, and the Warhawks aren't going away here. It's 5-3. So one-on-one right out of the box, and Gilliam already made one of those saves in this period. A couple of break opportunities. We catch that at the right time, and we've seen 4 of those in this game so far. Gibbs had one in the earlier part of the second period. And that still keeps it within striking distance. And whether or not, wherever the scoreboard ends up, I think Shrake is going to get one of the stars for me for just keeping his team into it. So Zach Kerr and Thielen get the goal and assist. Zach Kerr is another one of those guys that have been on the team since last year. He's no stranger to scoring goals, and now it's a 5-3 game. And again, I was just commending the Sharks for the way that they're running their power play, and then the full sail clear, and then there you go, little counterattack for Tomalak's squad. Here's a chance that just gets picked off toward the right side dot. Sharks get blocked again right at that same spot. It's a vortex. Can't get the puck out there as Jake Prober. And off the spin and turn, Kieran Carlisle. Now to Cole Helgamo. It's loose in toward the right side of the post. Josh Hill trying to buy himself some space. Rebound, scores! Little stick-to-itiveness between Hill and Helgamo. It's back to 6-3. A little topsy-turvy second period here. Sharks were up 3-1 after 1. It's now 6-3 after 2. That was at the 4:09 marker. That's going to be Hill and Helgamo combination.
Assisted by number 15, Josh Hill. Time of the goal, 4:09 remaining in the second period.
Little backhand to the open net. Again, I would say for 3 of those goals for Waterford, now maybe even 4, Schrenke's not going to be able to do anything with those. He stopped everything that he could, but he might have to get to the third period where he's going to need to rob a couple. Volkowski, this one will be drawn back and then hit the glass. It'll stay in play. One of the Warhawks immediately trying to cheat the break out. And no problem there for Austin Hickner. as his team finds a way to get in the zone. And off the spin and turn touch pass. Here's Gibbs. He's got nobody with him just yet. Leave in off the drop pass. McComas try to throw this in a sharp angle chance. And Schrenke's got it with the glove hand.
Make sure you get your 50-50 raffle tickets. Drawing will be held at the end of the second period. Intermission.
Warhawks now after the face-off win. Picked up toward the right side. Here's a chance it'll go just wide. That was Paul Lochner that let it fly. Good hit toward the right side boards, and Gilliam, someone's down on the right side boards. Ref's got to go back over and check on them. This might draw a crowd. You got to make sure you stay away from the injured player that's down there. You don't want anything bad happening alongside the worst. You're trying to skate away into a knee. From the jersey tuck, I just want to see who that is when they get back up. Skating underneath his own power for sure, but that one's going to hurt. And toward the right side boards. Now being helped by a teammate and trying to stretch it out. Bowman's motioning the rest of his squad. We got a neutral zone draw here. Hopefully everybody's okay down there for the Warhawks. We already had Isaiah Hyatt take a puck up toward the visor, but he did pop back into this game, number 9. This will be 1 in the neutral zone. And we'll start again for the Detroit. This has been a very physical game. Both of these teams, again, no kidding when I say this, you're going to need some ice baths. Just a little bit too far there for Spencer Bowman. And he finishes his hit nicely. And this has been about as physical as I've seen between these two, covering this team for now 3rd season. This opener has been rough and rugged, and it's been very competitive as well. Warhawks have hit the 3-goal mark in all 3 games that they've played so far this year. We'll see if they can break that ledger. The Sharks now had scored 2 last week when they lost 5-2 to the Voyagers. They got 6 today in the opener, trying to go to 1-1 on the year. The Warhawks would fall to 0-3. You got another steal and a score. Gilliam got a little too greedy, and it's 6-4. Sharks couldn't get it out of the zone, and 2:21 left again. This is a game, as we said, topsy-turvy, but it stayed within striking distance. And this is really too close to call here. I've said it over the last couple seasons with the Warhawks. I've liked the way that they've played, but this is the best version of their team that I've seen since I've covered.
Detroit, Warhawks goal scored by number 15, Zach Dover. Time of the goal, 2:21 remaining. Second period.
So Zach Dover gets the steal, the unassisted goal past Gilliam. He had a yawning cage to shoot it into. And we got 10 goals combined. The Sharks have a 6-4 lead. I wouldn't say this game is closer than I expected it to be, because I knew that the Warhawks were going to come out with some intensity. You know, the way you get squashed in the first couple of games, not really their fault for who they're playing. And now they want to try to give the Sharks the business. This has been fun and competitive. Hill driving on the backhand as Schrenke says no with the stick hand. And we're down to about 90 seconds in this middle stanza. Touch pass is a good one. Opportunity now, Morgan. Good back check for Hill. And this will be recollected by the Warhawks defense. Rolling vulcanized rubber goes end to end. Warhawks in the middle of a change. It's not a good pass there. Cole Helgamo. He's got a chance now. He got it sticked away from him before he could ever get the shot off. That was a big chance in the final minute to get an offsides. I'm going to have to write on the second score sheet by the time that this is done, as long as I've already drawn the line at the final minute. We'll see what we get. It's going to get blown down against Waterford. We'll have to do it back again in their own zone. 55 seconds in period numero dos. It's an all-important draw here for Alex Sharp. He's got to win it. You don't want to make any mistakes here in this final minute. You've already had a couple. Probably shouldn't have conceded if you're Waterford, but it's been a good competitive game. Nolan Baldrika. Schwenke gets to it first, but here's Polosha. Polosha now for Nolan. Here's a chance, and off the post and out and then in again. That was huge for the Sharks. They had to have it, I feel, with 38 seconds left. There's a chance that got sent in. Baldrika went to go get it. Polosha helped back him up. That's big time on the forecheck here for Telegraph's squad. They'll take it. So good forecheck there for the Sharks. It's a big goal. This tip goes wide. As we're down to the final 15 seconds, got some loose lumber on the ice in the Sharks' offensive zone. Sharp, he gets upended on a hit from the Warhawks there from Zach Kerr. He's already got one in this period. Rolling puck will expire the second, but this game is very close. It's fun. It's 7-4 after 2. Waterford's got the edge. They were up 3-1 after 1, and now it's 7-4. We'll come back. We'll call the final 20. See you in a bit. All right, let's give you some updates. I'm going to give you the Sharks reset in a moment. As our game is about to end the third period, it's a 7-4 lead for Waterford. So around the MIHL, the Saints have a 2-1 lead over the Kalkaska Kings in the north. Both of those teams are 2-0. We will monitor that. On the other side for Go Live Sportscast, when they're at Big Boy Arena, that is a 2-2 tie after one between the Michigan Shadow and the Muskegon Voyagers. Some NHL scores for you to hit the board. The Predators got a 4-2 win over the Flames. They're in the Gavin McKenna watch. Let me give you some finals as well, because there's a couple surprising ones. Avalanche get another OT point. They've been living that way. The Sharks win 3-2 over the Colorado Avalanche. That's a big surprise. Philip Kurashev gets the OT winner. The Winnipeg Jets get a 5-2 win over this very surprising Pittsburgh Penguins. They were sitting number one in the Metro. I mean, what does this feel like? 2010, 2009 between the Red Wings Penguins matches, but they lose 5-2. Bruins get a surprising 2-1 win over the Canes. Again, late games are Rangers, Kraken, Blackhawks, Oilers, Devils, Kings, and you do have Game 7 of the World Series that I can try to profile toward the end of it. Let's get in this Facebook post and the reset for your reset in this game, and then we'll call third period action. So it's been a hurricane of effort through two periods. Sharks still lead 7-4. Polosha gets his first two of the year. So does Cole Haugamo. Detroit Warhawks goal from Tommy Morgan gets his second. Pots another in a rush in the net, and Zach Kerr gets a steal for Detroit, essentially on an empty net, and finishes it off. Now, I made this comment, and this isn't any disrespect toward Jimmy Bolton or Miles Finney or any of those guys, because they've done a good job with the Warhawks over the years, but this is the best team version I've seen of them under Jake Tomalak and company since I've been covering the Sharks. This is my third year. That's what I put specifically in the post. I don't think the lead is safe by any means, but the shots on goal are slanted. It was 22-8 that period in numero dos for Waterford, but 40-17 in total. So it's telling you the Sharks are playing a good game here. Both teams trying to get their first win, but I do think this game is still too close to call. So let's get started with the third, as I'll put this phone down and get called in on the action. Here's an opportunity for Gregorich, who scored a really nice goal in that second period. I do think if the Sharks get the next one, they can put themselves in better distance. But if the Warhawks continue this back and forth, I don't think anything can be safe to be said as far as what can happen initially. .1925 left to go here in this third. And some was able to change the Snoop Dogg part of the song to the Waterford Sharks radio network. Whoever did that deserves an A+ in the marketing campaign. Grego and Pfeiffer. I'm going to get some culmination for the Zebras here. Right now we got an ozone draw. Maybe they want the rest of the Sharks to be stuck on their line change for what they initially had. Jared Pfeiffer is going to come out there as well. Four-minute double minor against the Warhawks. So high stick had to have been the situation with some blood. So Zach's been busy back on the score operations, and Sharks get a golden opportunity here to start this third. So a double minor for slashing. I had to have drawn something, or it was very egregious, as this will be sent in toward the right side boards. Sharks don't want to give up anything off the off-man rushes they did in the second when it was kind of a break. He had too many of that. Is this a tap in right in front for Grego? He's going to get a little room service dime, and that means they're going to get another 2 minutes to play with on this power play. So Gregorich's probably going to get the easiest goal he's going to get all year. And I've thrown this on the second score sheet for the Warhawks side of the rosters to keep track for the story when that gets posted in a couple of days.
Power play goal scored by number 61, Andrew Peluja. His third of the game, assisted by number 71, Spencer Bowman, and number 17, Jared Pfeiffer. Time of the goal, 18:56 remaining.
My fault, Andrew. I don't want to shortchange you of your third. It's Pelosha from Bowman on the primary, and here's another one as this will be lifted up high. Good save there for Shrunk with the glove hand. Jared Pfeiffer is going to get a secondary assist. Sharks have an 8-4 lead. And Polsha makes his living scoring critically difficult goals. And you get a tap in there and you get another full 2 minutes to work with. You can essentially put this one in the dirt if you score again. I didn't say that at all in the first and second. I'm saying how close it is, even open this third. Donaldson off the chance. And this will be held by Schwenke.
50-50 raffle tickets. The winning 50-50 raffle number is 29547522. Again, the number is 29547522.
Offensive zone draw win for Waterford. You got Milkowski right at the doorstep. There's a turnaround spin for Donaldson. Pick back up now for the Sharks and for Christopher Martin. Try to lead now and off the rush from right to left. Donaldson, you got the Milkowski line with him. Here's a nasty wrister. As that one was solved by the right side glove hand. And the Warhawks will flip it back down the ice. Got about 35 seconds in which to work with still on the double minor for slashing. I have to imagine I have to draw blood or something. You normally don't call a slasher. That's one of a high stick. Milkowski trying to make a move in toward the left side boards. He picked up now for Donaldson. Little cross ice pass. Zach will take a sharp angle chance, and Schwenke will close the 5-hole, make the save. Donaldson can't hold it in. He's on the edge of his shift. He wants off. Telegraph will get a little bit of a change for his defensive unit. Now just to McComas. Lead in off the rush. McComas. Nice stick drag through, trying to work his way on his forehand. Put it into the right side boards. A little cross ice feed from Pfeiffer. Now to Milkowski, who's still out there. Got to be on the edge of his shift. Another wrister closed with a stick save for Schwenke. Little flip up the ice. This will work out beautifully. It's a 2-on-1 coming off the pipe and out. My goodness, as this one will go just wide off the 5-hole chance. That was Paul Lochner that hit the pipe. That would have made it a 3-goal deficit again, as the Warhawks have been all around it throughout this game. And take this one from right to left. Opportunity now for the Sharks again. They got the Boomers side of the jerseys here, which I really like in terms of that banner as this one goes up into the netting. Again, that'll be the permanent fixture that they've had inside the Red Rink, where we're going to play all our home games this year. I wasn't necessarily sure if they were going to get the Blue Wink operational in time, but they definitely did. They just want to make sure to have everything one way, because if you got your banner, you want to have that be showcased from a couple of seasons ago, and that's going to be the permanent fixture here. Hopefully they can add more to it. Now in toward the right side, still loose in behind the mesh, and off the back pass. Sharks still having some trouble with it in their own end. There's 15:49 left to go in the third. So Warhawks going to take another penalty. Polosha, this is knocked out of the air by Prober. So Austin Hickner are going to get busted for a trip. And the Sharks scored 1 of 2 in this period off of the double minor. They'll get another one. So you take the first 40 minutes for the Warhawks when they've been very, very good, and then you kind of move that around. You need to get this kill, and you got to make something happen. That was a surprise of a shot against Gilliam, but he makes the save. It's a 3-on-2 developing here for the Sharks. Polosha is on hat trick watch. That's off. 15:29. We do have some lively Warhawks fans that are serenading the Zebras here. I don't know if they're going to like that. Donaldson now will get this cross ice pass from Polosha. It is rimming around the embankment. Picked up now off the backhand for Nolan Baldrica, who opened the scoring in this game. Baldrica, wrister, scores right in through the traffic. Nolan Baldrica's got numero dos. It's 9-4. It's another power play goal for the Sharks in this period. They're certainly going to take it. Make no apologies for that. So unless this got tipped, this is going to be Baldrica's goal. That'll be his second of the game. I guess Polosha is going to get another one here. And that one is going to go in as well. So they're going to give it to Polosha and Baldrica. I think Polosha will probably be uppercutting me after this game because I'm taking 2 of them away. But no, he's got credit for 2 in this period. And then we got another one off a rebound at 15:01.
Waterford Sharks goal scored by number 63, Alex Gregorich, his second of the game, assisted by number 71, Spencer Bowman. Time to go, 15:01 remaining.
So Gregorich and Bowman now, the one that was about 12 seconds apart. It's 10-4. And they've got a few Sharks that are dangerous. You already got one that already had the hat trick, and Polosha who's got 4. Gregorich with a little reverse hit. And this Bowman line's humming. Little Dominic Hasek there on the back end of the goal. I'm going to make sure I get a chance to get a number on it. If in just case we got a goal change. As this will be picked up now for the Sharks. A little reverse hit. And finish off as Gregorich was already near that. He's just going to take a change. Sharks already dangerous in their own end. And Gregorich can finally get off the ice. A little bit slow after that hit. Slapper for Bowman just misses it all. It's a 10-4 lead for Waterford. They have taken complete control of this third. It was a good 40 for the Warhawks. But the Sharks must have saw my message as that got tipped in. Are we going to say that was deflected high? 13:46. We'll see what we get. But I mentioned how they played so well for the first 40 minutes. And the Sharks just said about that. Kind of turned this game right in on its head. So that one for 13:46 is not going to count. It's still 10-4. Austin Hickner, as this one gets sent in and alongside for Donaldson. We pull back up my rosters here. Cole Hogemo now in toward the right side of the dot as this gets intercepted and sent across the blue paint. There'll be a race forward now for Waterford. Cole Hogemo. We got opportunity off the drop. Pfeiffer can walk in and shoot if he wants to. Cross pass, and that one was shot high. That was right out in front of the net. think Nate Austin is the new goaltender of record. As I'm looking in through my sheet, I see 39. So we'll give him credit for those saves when we get those in the third period. Offensive zone draw win here for the Warhawks. Find an entry across the left wing side. Here's a spin now. It's 10-4 all of a sudden. Sharks taking complete control of the third. They're looking like the team that you usually see. That was a good first 40 minutes though, but now they're starting to submerge under the pressure. Here's a cross ice feed. This is a 2-on-1. See who the last man back is for the Sharks. Gilliam, backhand. That is clinical and silky for the Warhawks. Make it 10-5. Couple more of those could make things interesting. Giuseppe Carcillo, Dante Suffredini, and Paul Lochner's got the goal. They made it 10-5. That one was finished off the break. It was a nasty combination play. It's a 10-5 game, no shortage of goals. I figured there might be some madness, but we'll see what happens for the rest of it. As Nate Austin now will glove this one down and see what happens here for the Sharks as they can start again off of some forecheck. Zach Mokowski out there and alongside with McComas and the Warhawks couple. This one up right at center ice. This will be sent back down by Donaldson. There's a rolling vulcanized rubber into the corner. This bounces off a couple of skate blades as the Sharks take a long shot right in the breadbasket of Austin, who'll hold on to it. Being ozone draw. Sharks trying to get puck possession of it now. Polosha's got 4 in this game. One-timer chance. This will be saved by Austin. That was a pretty good one toward the right side post, but it's still very busy. Loose on the front, just over the stick of Baldraka. He wanted to get his third. Warhawks trying to cheat for offense here, but no problem for Brendan Pfeiffer. Goes back in his own zone, makes the play, and this will be flipped up ahead by Baldraka. Nice work toward the left side red line at center ice, and the Sharks will go ahead and hand grenade this one in. You got late arriving back check help if they want it, but Austin's going to go ahead and make that stop. We're almost halfway through this third. 15 goals combined between the two. Sharks are up by 5. Now toward the right side of the glass, Warhawks start again with the long flip. Right at center ice, Jake Prober, touch pass. And we will flip this one back around for Gilliam. It looks like he's going to finish all 60 of the minutes played here. Schwenke played most of the game. Now Nate Austin, backup netminder, is going to be in after the Sharks took control a little bit in this third. Polosha on the left wing on his backhand, working forehand now. We'll shovel it in deep. Got Grego there. He will just make this shovel pass toward the right side. This is fought off at the net, rolling puck, and picked up now for the Warhawks. They want to go left to right in this period. And everybody was taking a vacation there, a little offsides. They get a stoppage at 9:50. say jerseys and color schemes are both top-notch for both of these squads. It'll be interesting to see what we get for St. Ignace and Kalkaska. Again, remember the Battlers were here a couple of seasons ago in the MIHL. They moved to the APHL. Now they have some different things, but the new iteration here is the Kings. Alongside Susie Detcher and Cam Fisher and company. Try to see if I can find another scoring update before our broadcast is done for them. St. Ignace and Kalkaska, it was a 2-1 game as the Saints had the lead after one. Grego dancing through a phone booth, and that one was solved with the right pad of Austin. Little cross ice feed a little bit too far in the mix of Barzik. This will be lofted in behind the mesh. It's a little bit congested back there. And the Sharks a little overskate for Bowman. But he will survey right in between the left dot and kind of cancel out those boards as the shovel is kept in. Warhawks play with the puck possession for a moment. This gets deflected off of one of the Sharks and they got it in behind the mesh. Spencer Bowman, the captaincy, will push this one ahead for Jarrett Pfeiffer. What a sweet play, but just offsides there alongside for Bowman. He was doing the best he could to keep one skate in the air to keep that one on sides. Chris Calabrese back on the defensive end and alongside for Brendan Pfeiffer. As Tyler's mixed up some of the D pairs. Calabrese will try to step up on the back check now, as this is a drive right at the net. You don't want to give too many of those up if you're the Sharks, but you do have a 5-goal lead. Right in off the fresh change, you don't want to give a chance right up the gut. So I'm sure that'll be some film. Karen Carlisle off the forehand turn and spin. As this one's blocked out in front. Cole Helgemau trying to get a little bit up in front. He keeps his way on side. Still an opportunity with Hill. Carlisle lost the edge with the blade. Sent back around for Josh. He'll brace for some contact off the spin and turn. Nicely lost an edge, did Josh. No problem though. He should pop back up to his feet. Brendan Pfeiffer. Spin and turn in his own end off the leave. And this will go across the wall. Combination pass with Carlisle now to Hill. Back to Kieran. Throws it out in front, and that was not even get a shot off, as picked up by Jake Prober. Sent toward the net. Hill was trying to push the puck out in front before taking a hit. And a 2-on-1. Oh, that bled in. That one Gilliam's going to want to have back. He won't get it. 7:45 left in the third. We got a hat thrown on the ice. So we had Tommy Morgan on hat trick watch. He might have just gotten it. So McComas in up off the draw. This is another goal for the Warhawks. It's 10-6.
His third of the game. Assisted by number 33, Jacob Baxter, and number 18, Brendan Thielen, his third assist of the game. Timing goal, 7:45.
So Thielen's got 3 apples. Morgan's got 3 goals. From where we are right now, so not too bad for Tommy Morgan. Again, we talked about the possibility in this game in the open for the 3 goals that the Warhawks had scored in the first 2 games, combined 3 apiece, and now they doubled that up with 6. And they're giving the Sharks all that they could handle. And another hit as McComas had to absorb that one. Gibbs, glove save, and that's knocked up and out of play. Hopefully Justin's all right down there. Again, he was the one that graciously helped me get the championship picture with the boys, so always sure to keep an extra pair of eagle eyes at number 91. score sheets are getting completely full here with 7:13 left to go in this third. That is tipped from a chance from Donaldson. Now on the left side boards, here's Gibbs again. He just got stonewalled. There's a good chance out in front. Wachowski gets robbed. Good save there for Nate Austin. Sent back around now off the back skate, off the zebra. An opportunity to pick it back up again is Donaldson. And there's a rolling puck in toward the right side of the boards. This game, again, as you mentioned, has been very physical. There's been 16 goals. Warhawks scored 6. And I can talk about the statement that I mentioned as this one gets tipped out in front. And we have another goal here. Giuseppe Carcillo let it go. We'll see if he gets credit for it, number 23. So this is a game now. Again, 10-7. We've been within 3 goals. Towler's going to take a TO here. I don't blame him. They've been playing so well in this third period that you just don't want to give it all away. It's 3 straight goals for Waterford in this period, then combined with 3 straight goals for the Warhawks. And that's why it's 10-7 game. So after the TO, I'm sure Zach's going to give us the...
Assisted by number 23, Giuseppe. And number 10, Austin Hickner. Time to the goal.
So Giuseppe Carcillo and Austin Hickner are going to get the assist from Lochner's goal. He's got 2 in this game, I believe, as well. I'm going to have to go through my score sheet quite a bit. We got 17 goals, thankfully. Got the video replay after this. If not, there's going to be a lot to talk about in this story. Don't know if we're going to have time to even go through it goal by goal. It'd be a week-long story, 17 goals here. Here's a chance and off the rush on the backhand. And they'll get loose out in front again. And the Warhawks, after this timeout, this belongs with them. And a save in of close the stomach. And now a little pushing away from the crease.
Now in net for the Waterford Sharks, number 49, Ian Morton.
So Ian Morton, again, initially number 34, now 49 on my score sheet. He was inserted after the TO. So Gilliam should be on record still for this win unless we get another hurricane of goals in the next 6 minutes. But Ian Morton's going to get a chance to close it. I wanted to say this in the open. I didn't want to be too disingenuous in between Michael Schwenke or Elijah Gibbons or Justin Yoakum or Rule Galong. In between Jacob Gillian and Ian Morton, it's a completely new goaltending tandem for the Sharks in the first time in 3 seasons, and I wanted to see what they could do. And I still want to say it is TBD as far as the Sharks in net, but from the finals last year, I know there has been some injuries, so I don't want to put it all on goalies and everything else because there's a lot of good people in these locker rooms who I humbly respect. But it is something different for the Sharks. A chance, as we said, no Papandrea, no Gibbs, a completely different goaltending tandem. You want to try to make your way back to the top of the MIHL South. There's going to be a lot to do. So here's what I thought I wouldn't say, because we just got the announcement after that kerfuffle in front of the net. Looks like Pfeiffer's done too much. Give me 1 second. Looks like Pfeiffer has done too much as far as what was being said And there it was a penalty there that wasn't thrown in on the scoreboard, but the Warhawks should be on a power play. You get a brutal hit into the right side boards. I've said that about 10 times in this game, and I meant it every time. Here is another opportunity for the Warhawks off the long flip. Just misses in toward the right side boards, turning off the half spin. Sharks try to clean it up out in front. And this will be picked up now for Baldrika. Sharks might need to score another goal, but I think for Tyler Groth and everybody, just try to keep this one close. This play is probably going to be blown dead. And he had to make sure to touch it first. So Sharks did their best to kill some time here. So let me ask you this. I know I'm the play-by-play guy, but how would you really describe this game if you're a fan watching it? Because this just felt like an absolute hurricane, like a movie, a twister. And again, everything I thought we said through the first 40 minutes about the Warhawks has been withstanding. Maybe you want some of those goals to come back if you're Waterford. Maybe you would ask some of the same thing for the Warhawks. Do you think that that's fair on both sides, or am I being too hyperbolic? Either way, it's 10-7. And I think within 2 weeks when we come back from the home ice side for Waterford, looking into a doubleheader on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, that I'm kind of thinking about what's ahead as far as for this team and what are they going to be able to show, because 10 goals, that's great, but for them to give up 7, you don't know if you really expect that. Nate Austin comes all the way out to meet this puck. That was confident goalkeeping there. And now we're going to fight it toward the right side. Nate Austin throwing some bombs. What the heck is going on over here? 4:42 left in the third. We got the goaltender coming out of his crease to play the puck off a break. And then he goes and throws some punches anyway. This game is going off the rails. 100% at this point. I'm making sure I mark this in my notes. So there was a clear. He comes out to meet the puck, and all of a sudden the goaltender's on top of one of the Sharks throwing punches. 4:42 left to go in this third. For the crew that's left here alongside the Go Live Sportscast, Sean out here with you on the call. This is absolute insanity at this point. So if they're just going to take Nate Austin out, are you going to put Schwenke back in? Somebody's got to serve that penalty. They're just going to say, you know what, Nate, we've had enough. Well, the fans are getting their money's worth. I know I am too, but for Christ's sake, I mean, I can say I've ever seen that at this point. I've seen a lot of fights. I've seen some heavy hits in this game. But off of a clear like that, you know what? Let's just go. And maybe, I think I can say this safely. Again, I keep everything clean, but the Warhawks trying to send a message here to the Waterford Sharks in their first game, in their first match of the season. Again, from 4 teams to 8, you're not going to meet as many times. Not the 6 times, the 6x4 that was last year. But the return of Michael Schwenke here. And then Ian Morton on the goal crease on the other side. Ian Morton's going to be thinking, you know what, we got 4:42 left to go in the third. Can we just get out of this with the win and move on and go to the Sharks Club? I'd have to imagine that's what's on his mind. Now Cole Helgamo exchanging some words. It looks to be nothing more than friendly here at this point. This is one of those games now, I'll say it, you have been cut off from internet access for about 4 weeks. You've been stranded on an island, and you have no idea what's going on with current events. That's been this type of game right now at this point. And the madness and everything, the handles, it's all fallen off the wheels now at this point. It looks like Destruction Derby. The good things you take out of it is Waterford scoring 10 goals. Their offense is there, even without some of the subtractions that we talked about. I thought Baldrica has looked really good. You've had a wake-up here for Andrew Polish. It only takes 2 games, but he's got 4 as they play Why Can't We Be Friends? But, you know, it's been that type of game here in this last part of the third. If I am the Warhawks and Jake Tomalak and his squad, I feel pretty good. I would say even... I can't say a loss at this point because it's another 3-goal game with 4:42 left in the third. That you feel very good about their effort. What I've said in the open still stands after 40 after the 60. Yes, the Sharks took control of the third period, scoring a few goals in a row before the Warhawks came back and scored a ton to make this another 3-goal game. But you like their offensive effort. They've got 13 goals now in 3 games, and we're not even finished with the third game for them. So they certainly look to be much better. And as we get this stoppage, I think it's time for me to point this out as well. Let me know what you think. As far as the MIHL South, you got the North and South. Again, you have the 3 teams that you already knew in between the Warhawks, the Sharks, and the Voyagers with the shadow added. Where do these teams fall in between that South? Because the Sharks could find themselves, I'm not going to be disrespectful to the team that I'm working for, but they can find themselves, if they're still trying to get in front of the Voyagers, in between the Shadow and themselves. And the Warhawks, even if they ended up as the 4th best team in the South, I'm not going to say that openly because they looked much better than that. We still got a full season to play, that this is going to be very competitive from what we said in the open.
The Warhawks, number 39, Austin Main, 5 minutes for fighting. Time of the penalty, 4:42 in the third period. For the Waterford Sharks, number 71, Spencer Bowman, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty.
So roughing
in the third period.
against Nate Austin. Nate Austin fighting 4-on-4 as a lot of the boys are having some fun here on both sides between some of that. And everything for Schwenke, I like him between the Sharks. They're just having a good time with him and they're enjoying themselves. Good competition between the former champion with the Waterford Sharks and Michael Schwenke. Again, it's good to see him back in the goal crease and playing full time. He played pretty much all of the game, especially now that Nate Austin's in the box. But what does that also leave? Again, we prospected the South. Let's go north. So in the new division now, you got 3 expansion teams out of the 8. Again, the Alpena 45ers is the only team that's mainstay over the last couple of years. Again, they were the Gaylord Snow. But when it was 4 teams to 8, Alpena gets to stay in the north now as they've got divisions. But you have the St. Ignace Saints, the Kalkaska Kings, and the Sheboygan Wendigo, who we're going to see here shortly within a couple of weeks, especially the Saints and the Kings. Where would you have them finish in between the MIHL North? That would be something to talk about as well. But I would have to say, obviously working with the Sharks and a good chance to see more of the South, that the South top to bottom might be stronger, but between the Kings and the Saints, they are very good, top-heavy 2 teams there. As Pfeiffer, we're back underneath the play here, just under 5 minutes, cross pass, and alongside for Chris Donaldson. As this is shoved away, and we got a break. Look out here, it's Lochner again, and he finishes it. 4:12 left in the third, and hold all tickets here. It's another 2-goal game. This game has been insane. Now an opportunity off the cross. This is picked off again. Tommy Morgan trying to push it again the other way. Gotta be careful here. This goes toward the right side boards. It's loose out in front. This is saved by Morton and brushed away by the Sharks. 3:50 left to go in this third. It's a 10-8 hockey game. Now rush Polosha. He's got 4. He might need another one. Here's his cross pass feed, and that shot gets ripped high and wide. Start again now, Polosha. This game has been wide open in the third. Cross pass opportunity gets deflected. Now Donaldson gets beat. Here's another one. He tries to get a stick chop. Walk in. Good save, Morton, as we get another whistle. Warhawks fans want a penalty. They're not going to get one. It is a 2-goal game. Did you ever think I was going to say that at this point? I've had to use all the cough drops. Ozone draw. This will be flipped back down the ice and played by Schwenke. He might have an opportunity to get the win here. That's the craziest thing I think I'm ever going to say. As this is picked up on the backhand, forehand. Here's a chance now. One of the Sharks goes down in the corner. Calabrese going to go to the box and a hold. Warhawks have a chance to get this within 1. Unbelievable. Would that be the case? Buchanan's chance. That one goes wide. Karen Carlisle mercifully gets this one down the ice. We're just waiting for the game to expire here. If you're a Sharks fan, they want to get their first one on the board. Warhawks don't want to fall to 0-3. They've certainly played that way, that they want to win this one in game 4, just like Game 7 of the World Series we got going on between the Dodgers and Blue Jays. You never thought it was going to be that way. Here's a ripper. This one hits the glass. It'll stay in play. 2:15 left to go in the third. Sharks only up by 2. Warhawks now turn around with puck possession. This game has gotten very interesting in this third. Find the entry. Across the right wing, Hickner gets his shot fought off by Morton. One-timer, good save with the left pad. Sent back down the ice. And we will get an icing call with the net empty. Jake Tumlock's squad going for it all with the net pull. They will take their TO. The Sharks have already taken theirs at the 6:35 mark, and then the Warhawks scored after that, essentially on a break. And they've just been going back and forth here, but when you had that big push at the beginning of the third, this is just the third, mind you, when the Sharks had scored 3 straight goals, you kind of wondered where it was going to go. Looks like the Sharks were in complete control. Nope, not that way. My only concern, and this is just game 2 of the season, so I don't want to forecast everything when we just got things started. If every single game looked like this, Tyler would have as much hair behind the bench as I would at this point right now, and I got nothing left. It's receding. So you're going to want to have the defense play a little bit better, not have it be so open. Probably get a few more stops from your netminders as you go across. Again, the season's very young, but from what we've seen, are the Warhawks that much better? We say they're better, but are they that much better? Because if they are, then the Sharks are going to have a lot to do in this year. We sent back down to the open goal mouth, and mercifully, an 11-8 game, an empty netter. So So Zach's going to tell us who this is credited for. Schrank is going to come back in the goal crease. I don't mind Jake going for it on that side. It tells you he believes in his team.
Sharps goal scored by number 63, Alex Gregorich, his fourth of the game. Unassisted. Time of the goal, 1:48 remaining in the third period.
So Grego's got 4, Palosha's got 4 backhand. This one I think is going to get whistled down before it ever went in the net. I think it might have crossed the goal line. And we are going to get a fight, ladies and gentlemen, at 1:33. It is Cole Hagemo. He's feeding some uppercuts, and this one is just drop the gloves and let it go, because Cole Hagemo is destroying his opponent. Zach Kerr and Hagemo, ladies and gentlemen. That is good night. See you tomorrow. Well, the junkyard dog is alive and well, ladies and gentlemen. So if you ask me how to describe this game, I would say madness, which would be one word I would use. But if you ask me what happened specifically, I would just say everything. Everything, ladies and gentlemen, at this point. 1:33 left in the third. It's 11-8 game. Gregorich, his 4th on an empty netter. And then we just saw Kerr and Hagemo go toe-to-toe, but that looked like a monster truck against a Honda Fit at that point. Zach Kerr didn't have a chance. What a wild opener. In my wildest dreams, I wouldn't have imagined the game to turn out like this. Goals, yes. Maybe within 4 or 5, yes. But the amount of fights, the actions, everything that we saw in the third period, this might be the highest quality that I've seen in the MIHL for quite a while between these two. But I will say again, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, in terms of the upcoming matchups that we'll get in a few weeks in the next 5 of 6 for the Sharks at home after they go to Big Boy to play the Shadow next week, they're going to have to clean up some things and keep themselves upright and just survive maybe. Because we could have taken this entire third period and made a game of it itself. And when you see my closeout for the Sharks, as soon as I make the drive back home to the premises, there's going to be a lot to undress. There'll be a lot to undress in the story at Hopeless Sports Guy. Schranke now going over from his team and getting hugs from his former teammates as well. And even if it's a homecoming of sorts, I think the Sharks made sure, and the Warhawks as well, to throw him a party on the ice. And it was physical. There was a lot of altercations. There was a ton of goals. And for anyone that was in the Red Rink tonight to watch this game at Lakeland or to follow our broadcast at Go Live Sportscast, you were in for a treat today. So we still got another minute 33 officially, but let me do this while we have our stoppage. I'm going to try to give you some updates. So let's pull up the MLB app, and then we will go across the MIHL again, if you guys don't mind. It is scoreless, bottom 3. Blue Jays will be batting. That's Game 7 of the World Series. We have some housekeeping to do back and behind the net as well. So again, on Friday, the Sharks are going to be on the road. 7:45 at Big Boy Arena. Now, Frank has that side of the broadcast, and they're doing all the shadow stuff. They will have you covered for that. I will not be able to make that road trip. Again, normally I cover all the home games, but that's something to look out for with the Sharks in the shadow. And then Saturday for the rest of the games next week, that'll be the Kings at Wendigo, Saints at 45ers, Voyagers at Warhawks next week. 7, 7, and 8 o'clock Eastern starts. Let me go on the Facebook side and see if I get anything as far as scoring updates before we get back underneath the play. Again, we had the 2-2 side for Muskegon Voyagers in the Michigan Shadow. That's still their only update. This is flipped the long way. So we got a minute 15 left to go in this crazy hockey game. Crazy isn't even the right word at this point, but I've run out of superlatives. Be sent back and alongside for Morton. And the Sharks will have it again. Try to see if they can keep this final minute clean. Here's an opportunity off the drop. Warhawks. 2-on-2 developing. Long shot will be saved here and held by Morton. We will get another whistle at 49.8. The one game that I was interested in looking at before we sign off the air here the Saints have a 3-1 lead over the Kings. There's one more goal for them in the second. Both of those teams were 2-0 in the MIHL North. Face-off is won by the Warhawks, trying to break out. Are the Sharks turn and spin Polsha. 25 seconds left to go. Little sweep away, little curling style for the Sharks. Right side corner for Spencer Bowman, who's still back out there after that roughing in the fight in between Nate Austin. He's got a lot to think about in this game as well, but doesn't matter if the Sharks end up getting the victory in their home opener. Here's a chance now for Hill. One more off the rush. I could stick the way, cleared down the ice. And that is going to do it for your home opener, ladies and gentlemen. The Waterford Sharks win this one 11-8. They get their first victory of the year, improve to 1-1. The Warhawks fall to 0-3-0. Again, no fault of their own. They played fantastic in this game. Yes, a lot of goals across the board, but they did start the season against the Shadow, the Voyagers, and the Sharks. But the Sharks salute their fans in the red rink. They win their home opener 11-8. John on here got a chance to sign off for a Go Live Sportscast. This one was a lot of fun. So much to unpack. We'll do so in a couple of days. Sharks win their opener 11-8. You could have a full story in this third period if you want to. That's the way it's been. But anyone that's listening in, humbly appreciate you. Sharks will be on the road next week against the Shadow. And then we'll be back here in the red rink for 5 of the next 6. When we come back the following week, it'll be a doubleheader Saturday and Sunday, when I believe it is the Kings and St. Ignace Saints coming to town with Waterford Sharks. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was very wild and nothing but entertaining. That's all we could say in this opener. And if this is how we're going to start my season 3, we got a lot to look forward to. Appreciate you guys. Peace.